guys, welcome to the Homestead. So as I said the other day, I did that video on talking about livestock being stolen out from beneath homesteaders all across this country, basically farmers, ranchers. It's going on again. I saw another video, but before I get to that, a lot of you guys have messaged me and told me about this movie called Homestead. And I've heard about this before. I knew about it coming out. And some of you have gone and seen it. And some people, this is the greatest movie. This movie was awesome. And from other people, that was one side. And then there was a side of people who came to me and told me, Zach, I didn't see one chicken in this entire movie. How are you going to make a movie? I mean, tell me. I haven't seen it yet. So you comment and tell me below if that's true. I will see. Listen, I'm a cheapskate. I'm not going to go see it until it's out on Amazon for like $3.99. I'll buy it and watch it then. But some of you guys are like, Zach, there's not one single chicken in this entire movie. How are you going to have a homestead with no chickens? and some others said that they have no livestock. What are they eating for food? I didn't see anything about gardens, growing food. I saw a homestead family living in a giant mansion, which is like what every homesteader is living in. Most homesteaders I know live in trailers, which I did. Our first year out here on this property, we lived in a trailer out here in the Ozarks. We lived in a trailer for a year. I mean, I can relate. I know people who've lived in tents. They'll do anything it takes to get out of the city. What are you willing to do? What sacrifices are you willing to make in order to get out of Babylon, get out of the city? Because you know what's coming. If you have any sort of brain power about you, you know what's coming. But yeah, that's what I've heard. Not one chicken. I don't know if that's true. Leave a comment below. If you've seen the movie, let me know. How is it a homestead movie without a chicken or any livestock or gardens? But yeah, and then some people who was like, this is I think it sounds like a great action-packed movie, but I have not seen it. So you leave your comments below. Let me know. I will do a full review on it when I do see it. When it finally comes out on Amazon for $3.99, because I'm a cheapskate. Video today sponsored by perfectpickler.com. perfectpickler.com. We rebuilt the website recently, so check it out. And it's actually getting pretty good Google rankings lately. All right, so the purpose of this video is I made the video the other day talking about cattle being stolen, ranchers, farmers, livestock, and sometimes massive amounts of livestock. We mentioned Colorado. We mentioned Missouri, the Kansas-Missouri border. There were some bulls stolen. There's been a bunch of stuff stolen in Oklahoma, and so it's happening. And throughout history, livestock, especially beef, has been in this country has historically been the number one black market item during times of trouble, economic collapse, and war. And we're getting ready to go through that time again. Thus why you see all of these examples happening more and more than what they've happened before in the past. And really what this comes down to is a loss of fear. There is no fear anymore, ladies and gentlemen. We used to have a fear of two things in this country. A fear of two things. Number one, we had a fear of God's judgment because most people were raised with the Ten Commandments in schools until 1960 when the Supreme Court case, Madalyn Murray O'Hair, got the Bible out of schools. And we're no longer teaching children, oh, it's wrong to steal, it's wrong to lie, it's wrong to murder. All those things, that were so horrible to teach children, those impressionable young minds. Now we're teaching them how to put condoms on bananas and all kinds of other things. Like I have two, what's that storybook? I have two daddies or something like that. We've taken the fear of God out of our society, out of our culture. We have a broken moral compass. You cannot argue with this. This is the way it is. And the second thing we have taken away when it comes to fear, the second type of fear is the fear of consequences. The consequences for one's actions. Listen, you can do whatever you want. You can steal. You can go through California, I think it's California, where you can steal up to $1,000 worth of merchandise before they finally prosecute you. It's okay. You can steal a $500 handbag. It's no big deal. We won't prosecute you. It's only when you cross that threshold of $1,000. Now we're coming down on you with the full extent of the law. Oh, calling me scared. And there are criminals out there who go and they basically on their calculators, on their phones. They're like, okay, this is this much, this is this much. Okay, we're good to go. We can leave and not get prosecuted. The world has lost its fear of punishment. There is no consequences. There are no consequences for your actions anymore. And so when you have those two things of no fear of judgment and no fear of consequences, people can run amok and not worry about anything. And so that's what we're seeing today. And plus we're seeing high prices of inflation. Our economy is getting worse no matter what they say. And I also did that video the other day about the switcheroo. The switcheroo. And here's this headline. I mean, can you tell the difference? So everything's great under Biden. Jobs are at the highest levels they've ever been. Our economy is flourishing. Everything is fantastic. And now Trump is about to take office. And, here are the headlines coming out from the mainstream media. Oh, things are looking tough. Oh, Trump, he has a tough row to hoe. All of a sudden, this switcheroo happens because there's a different president that the media doesn't like, that the Democrats don't like, the left-leaning numbskulls out there don't like, and so everything's going to be different. Okay, now, all that to say, as I'm fond of saying here on this channel, homesteading channel that does have chickens and does have sheep and does raise things like quail. We've had cows here before, but we're a real homestead channel. We have gardens. I'm actually canning in the kitchen. I canned a whole bunch of white variety of sweet potatoes. And I have a whole bunch more to do this afternoon I'm going to be doing because we actually homestead here. No one wants to make a movie of this. It'd be too extreme. So this video was published on Twitter. And from what it was published, I saw it just today. And I tracked it down. This is very recent. Okay, this just happened. Okay, just not that long ago, a few days ago, where this woman in Colorado, because we talked about Colorado, right? Where all these cattle were stolen. It's happening. It's spreading. It's getting worse. And we have a lack of fear. Watch this video.
It's not my thing to post raw emotion, but I need your guys' help. If anyone in the southern Colorado region or surrounding areas could help me out, that'd be super swell. I have 4 Berkshire female pigs that have been stolen. I have 60 meat birds and 20 laying hens. So we've just been devastated. Our livestock and our livelihood has been stolen, and if anybody has any information, that'd be super swell. Thanks.
I told you before in that video, I said make preparations right now. Look at your homestead the way it should be looked at with a preparedness and security mindset. And say, okay, how can we prevent this from happening? Because I'm telling you, if you're nearby a roadside or if you're in an area where there's traffic, where people take notice of what you have, they will try and take it from you. Because again, there is no fear. The fear of judgment and the fear of consequences. It says that in the Bible, if you read the Bible, it says fear is the beginning of wisdom. Why? Because once you have fear of judgment of the God Almighty, you're going to act more wisely. Fear is the beginning of wisdom. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. And right now we have no fear of God in this country anymore. And we're watching what happens when you've taken the fear of God out of a country. People are acting unwisely, and there will be no justice. So that's where we're at right now, and it's going to get worse. And so you need to take into account how your homestead is laid out, how you have things situated, what sort of protocols and security measures can you have in place. Someone mentioned in the comments, I didn't mention them in the things, I said gates, fences, things like that, security cameras, motion detectors. All of these things are out there today, even things that don't rely on the internet for access to be able to use in order to better secure your homestead. And someone mentioned dogs, and I think that's a fantastic idea. The reason I don't have dogs right now is because there are so many dogs out here that get dropped off. It's like almost I would say several times a year, if not more now, are we having lots of strays show up, and they don't have a collar. I don't recognize them from my neighbors. And, stray dogs can be a problem, especially when they start running in packs. And so I don't have time to deal with that and train a dog. Plus, because I do travel from time to time, I don't want to relieve that responsibility on my in-laws who live here. Jamie's parents, still live here on the homestead, and so it's like I don't want to give them that responsibility. So one of these days, yes. But dogs are a fantastic way to secure homestead, early warning. Also, they make things like guineas and geese. People talk about that too. They make great early warning animals. But there are things you can do to make sure you secure a homestead. And I'm telling you right now, you need to be doing it. You need to be doing it. It's going to get worse. All the stuff we're seeing right now, beef, again, has always been the historically #1 black market item in this country during times of economic trouble and war. And it doesn't matter. Meat is meat. It's expensive right now. And I don't see this economy getting better just because Trump's going to take office. Trump is not going to fix this. Okay, we are $36 trillion in debt. And when you take in all liabilities, we are over $100 trillion in debt. When you take in the leverages on all of that debt, we're almost probably we're within spitting distance of a quadrillion in debt in this country. Just this country. But it is what it is. Again, video sponsored by theperfectpickler.com. I'm going to do another video coming up real quick on the lamb that I have hanging in my pantry right now. It's dry curing. I got a great message from one of my patrons the other day, and I'm going to share that with you guys. I'm going to share it on the main channel. So stay tuned with that. I know a lot of content's not being published right now because everyone's out there celebrating that holiday that's not in the Bible. Oh, I'm stirring the pot. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to do that video coming up, and you're going to enjoy it. All right, see you next time at the Homestead. Love you. Bye. One of the best perks about living off-grid is that I never pay an electric bill. I love being my own power company, but that means when things go wrong, I have to be the one on call. So I try and use reliable components for my power production. For the last couple of years, I have been promoting OUPES solar generators. I've been using them and abusing them, and as it turns out, they are pretty good products. They have power generators for all occasions, and they can be charged by permanent or portable solar panels, as well as AC power. They offer true lithium iron phosphate batteries, and this is important. Recently, a family in my area had a different brand that uses the less stable nickel manganese cobalt or NMC type batteries. The unit caught fire in the middle of the night. It was a scary situation and it caused damage to the home, but thankfully nobody was hurt. The generator, as you can see, was a total loss. This drives home the point on why it's so important to employ solar generators like the OUPES brand that uses the much more safe and stable technology of lithium iron phosphate, otherwise called LiFePO4. They offer small generators for travel or for powering an entire home and everything in between. These are great backups to have in a medical emergency or to power a freezer full of your favorite meat products, or as I have shown in past videos, for even backup AC and DC power sources for ham radio communications. If the grid goes down, you're going to be thankful you have one of these units. You can find the link in the description of this video or click on the banner ad found on the front page of our website at AmericanHomestead.com. Right here, that banner ad right there on AmericanHomestead.com. Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American Homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. I'll wait.